Good morning, quirky birders, it's Lynn, and welcome to your final instalment of our lovely French street scene. I worked a little while longer after my last recording with you. I just put in my little geranium flowers in the window boxes. I also finished the little plant pots off down on the pavement here. I added in the details of the window of the cafe. I've just put in some little pot plants and a little chair. And I finished off the shading using the grey on the end of the flat-headed brush. So today we're going to be taking some time to put in all of the ink details. So I've got here my usual black fine liner pen. And I've also got just an ordinary ballpoint pen as well, because we're going to be putting in some of the finer ink details using the ballpoint pen. But first of all, we'll start with the fine liner. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a start at this bottom corner here, and I'm just going to put in the geraniums. So just taking some time to just draw around and put in some little leaves. Making sure that they're heading off in all sorts of different directions and layers. Now, because the picture is so detailed this time, it is going to take a little bit of a while to do all the ink details, so we're not going to rush it. So all the geraniums are just a little squiggle. It's just going round the outside and then just a spiral in the centre. Put in a couple of stems. And we'll just draw around the plant pot. So I've continued with the ink detailing. So I've just put in, I've drawn around the little bits around the window, and I've also drawn in the canopy. And what I'm now doing is I'm now just working on the railings just on the top of the balcony here. So I'm just going up either side of the grey that we used on the straight edged brush. Now, like I say, this painting with the ink detailing, it is going to take a little while to fill everything in, because it's one of the most detailed ones that we've actually done. So I'm just turning the board around just to do the top. And you can see that when you dab that grey paint on, you get a lovely texture, and you get some nice light areas. It's not just a solid colour. And then we'll just do the same along the bottom. Like so. And then we'll put the double line in along the top as well. And you can see that the balcony really now does stand out. So we'll just carry on, and we'll do the little windows. Just working the little windows around in between the railings so that the lines don't cross and they don't disappear. And then we'll just draw in the nice little frame. I'm just rounding off those edges. And then we need to do the shutters. And then we'll do the inside frame. And the same on this side. If I just turn the board around, we can just put in the edge of those slats on the shutters, just following that blue that we added as part of the shading. Like so. And you can see it really is coming to life and sitting quite prominently on that corner now. There we go. I'm actually quite happy with this. It's coming together really quite nicely. So I'm just going to put that little bit of a gully that we painted in the brown. And then add in the lovely shaped roof. And for the moment, that's all we need to do with the cafe. We're going to be adding in some further shading using the ballpoint pen. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to carry on and fill in the rest of the ink detail over here on our little bakery. So I'm going to start by doing my little geraniums again. Just drawing in those leaves. It's nice to put a little bit of the vine in the centre. And then just draw around the actual plant pot itself. And then in the same way, just do your little spirals to add in the flowers. Don't forget to add in the stems. Pen's decided to run out. Like so. And then we'll just follow the lines and add in all of the ink detailing on our little bread shop. And you can see now when you actually added that lovely grey shading, it really does help to put some depth to the picture, because that corner is now really standing out really quite nicely. I'm just going to turn the board around again while I just deal with the roof. way down. And then we'll just put in the archway. And fill in the canopy. Put in the supports. And then just go around the window. Now my little bread shop's got a little basket of buns in the window, so I'm just going to put in the ink around the buns. And then we just need to draw the baguettes. Just put some little lines on the little baguettes. It's beginning to look rather nice. Then we'll do the shutters in the same way that we've just done our blue ones. So putting in that little inner frame, and then we'll put some double lines down the centre of these ones, because these ones are actually closed at the moment. And then just add in your black line where you've gone across with your shading. Like so. And then we just need to put in the catch. So we'll just put in a couple of little dots and then a little line. And then we've got our lovely little window box here, so let's just draw that in. And then add again the geranium leaves. Quite simply just give the hint of some leaves, and then just do your normal little squiggle of geranium type flowers. Very, very easy. Just put in some stems as you go. And then we just need to come along here and just do our little shop sign. And the pole. And it was obviously hanging, so we'll just draw around the frame. And then draw in our little baguette. Again, just adding in a few little lines. And then just our ears of wheat. And that's it. So what we can do now is we can just change to our normal black ballpoint pen, and I'm just going to very lightly just scribble some shading onto the areas of the windows. And again, just very, very lightly, just in front of the cafe like that. We shall do just up here. Like so. You don't need to do it too much, just do it very, very lightly. And then we can just put some lines on the little roof, just to give it that little bit of extra shading and texture. If it's easier, what you can do is you can either put down a piece of paper or a ruler and then just use that to bounce your pen off, and then that way you're not going to cross over any of your lines and spoil what you've done. Then you'll end up with something like that. Now similarly, we can just work on this bottom corner here. Let me just get my ruler. We can just work on this bottom corner here and just put a little bit of shading just along the bottom of that building, like so. And again, just on this bottom. It's just these little things that just make all the difference to your painting. So it's just taking the time and then just adding in the shaded details. And like I say, this painting is the most detailed painting that we've actually done. So it's just about taking your time, working methodically, and then just adding in those details. I'm just going to put a little bit up here. And then along the edge. And then what you can do is you can put a little bit on the roadway just to differentiate that from the path. And then just put in the curb detail on your little road. So on the side of the bread shop, where the curbway is going to be facing you, you want to just then do a double line. Like so. And then on this side, where we're looking down on it more overhead, it's fairly flat. And then the final thing that we need to do, we just need to add in the name of our cafe. So I'm just going to very carefully just draw that in. So Café de Paris. And then if you're happy with your work, I'm just going to sign mine off. You can date it if you wished, so you're able to look back on it and see just how far you've come. Just put in a couple of little details on the pots just to give them a little bit of depth. And the same on the window box. And we'll just draw in the basket. And then let's take the paper off, the tape off the paper. So just being very, very careful with it, so there's no pulling whatsoever. And that's it. That's the end of your weekly challenge. And I hope it has been a challenge. I hope I have pushed you, but I hope what you're now looking at on your paper is something that you are immensely proud of, and something, you know, that you never really thought that you would be able to paint, but you did. And if you're at that point, I'm immensely proud of you too. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for taking part. Please do share your work. I would love to see what you've actually done. But yeah, I'll see you all again very, very soon indeed. Take care now. Bye-bye.